Good evening, good evening, good evening. I had to interrupt the song. It's 4th and 7 with 21 seconds to go. Pittsburgh up 26-24, 21 seconds to go. 4th and 7. Uh, Ravens with the ball, shotgun motion, trips to the top of the screen. Derrick Henry on the right hand side. The snap. 4th and 7. Here it comes. The throw is up. The throw is caught for a first down. They better call a timeout. They did. Isaiah Likely with a huge catch. So it's first down. They got time. They just took their second timeout. There's a timeout remaining. Uh, Aaron Rodgers just threw a touchdown pass with about 55 seconds to go to give the Steelers a lead. But Baltimore on their last play, their last gasp, got to play. And the play is at around the 24-yard line. So it's about a 20-yard throw. He should have got up and ran. Oh, no, he got kicked right there. But it's 1st and 10. I don't know if they're going to center the ball. I don't know what they're getting ready to do. But since I'm here, I'm going to call the rest of this. Aaron Rodgers is in disbelief. This game is just crazy. The winner of this game, though, well, they gave him 2 extra seconds. I don't know why. But the winner of this game clinches the AFC South and will face the Houston Texans next week. I'll give y'all the score. They took a knee. They let it run down. It's at the 26-yard line. They call timeout with 2 seconds. So the winner of, like I said, the winner of this game will go to the playoffs and play the Texans next week. We'll get to matter of fact, that's a Monday night game. Uh, I don't. Field goal kicker comes out. The field goal unit comes out. His name is Luke. He's made a field goal from 40. Let's just say this is about the same distance, maybe 36 yards. Maybe 36 yards. The ball's on the 26, so it's about 36 yards. Well, they getting ready to tell us anyway. No timeouts remaining for either team. So it's a 44-yard field goal. So this is the last play. Here we go. Snap, kick. He missed the he missed the kick. He missed the kick. Pittsburgh goes to Pittsburgh goes to the playoffs. What a wild game. This was a very wild game, y'all. When I tell y'all this is wild, this is wild. I tell you what, though. I tell you what. If I hear somebody blame this on Lamar Jackson, I'm going to have a fit. I'm really going to have a fit because this is not on Lamar Jackson. This was on their defense. Now you have to look at Harbaugh or the defensive coordinator. Maybe the defensive coordinator, but Harbaugh is they're going to say he's in trouble. So this game is final. Man, it's just a terrible way to lose a game from either way, right? But congratulations to the Pittsburgh Steelers. They better not talk about Tomlin no more, even though they're hosting a playoff game. Um, we can go straight to the stats. Matter of fact, y'all give me a second. Let me put this up here. Let me get y'all up to par with this. What happened here? Thank you, Jill Martin. Thank you. Welcome in. So here's what happens, right? This is the stats from tonight's game. We're gonna start with the Baltimore Ravens. Lamar Jackson was 11 of 18, 240 yards, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception. Derrick Henry was 20 was 126 rushing yards on 20 carries. Zay Flowers is the guy of the game because he had two deep passes. 100 38 receiving yards on 4 catches and 2 touchdowns. Uh, I can't believe I wow. I'm flustered. I'm not even gonna lie to you guys. I'm flustered. Uh, like I said, Lamar did everything he needed to do. Let's go to the Pittsburgh side because Aaron Rodgers, his numbers is gonna look great, but it wasn't that great. It was 31 for 47, 294 yards, 1 touchdown. Jalen Warren led the team with 66 rushing yards on 14 carries. Man, they had Aaron Rodgers running for 20 yards on a play. Kenneth Gainwell led everybody with 64 receiving yards on 8 carries. Excuse me, 8 catches on 9 targets, and he had a little 10 yards, so he had 74 total yards. Uh, Calvin Austin caught the touchdown at the end of the game that gave them the win. So the Steelers, they go on. Uh, they go on. They go to the playoffs. They made the playoffs. Uh, as I said, they'll be playing the Texans. We'll get to the schedules in a minute, but let's just refresh and see how everything went down. Not from just the scores itself. Uh, we'll go for the number one seed, and in Denver, the Broncos were hosting the Chargers. The Chargers had already solidified a place in the playoffs, so the win was necessary for the Broncos to clinch the number one seed, and that's exactly what they did. They win the ball game 19-3. Nothing too much to write home about. Uh, like I said, they had Trey. Like they didn't play nobody. Justin Herbert didn't play. They played Trey Lance, 20 of 44, 136 yards, up interception. Trey Lance led everybody with 69 yards on 9 carries, and Keenan Allen led the team with 36 receiving yards on 7 catches. On the Broncos side, we had Bo Nix play 14 of 23 for 141 yards, no touchdowns, but no interceptions. Bo Nix led the team with also 49 rushing yards on 8 carries. Uh, and Pat Bryant led the team with 4 receptions, but Evan Ingram had 45 receiving yards. So with this win, this gives the Denver Broncos the number one seed. They will have next week off. Uh, the Chargers are 6. Excuse me, they're 7. Well, we'll get into all of that in a minute as we'll present the playoff spot. New England did win their game today. They defeated the Miami Dolphins, uh, 38-10. Matter of fact, let's just go straight to all the scores. Let's not even play with it, right? Let's go straight to all the scores. We know what happened tonight, and like I said, that was the final game of the season. Uh, the most important game happened early in the day between the Atlanta Falcons and the New Orleans Saints, and the Atlanta Falcons get to win 19-17 uh, to go to 8-9, and the Saints go to 6-11. With the Falcons win, the Carolina Panthers won the NFC South, and they will be hosting the game, I believe, Saturday. Yeah, I think Saturday. But we'll get into all. Like I said, we'll get into all that in a minute. So congratulations to the Carolina Panthers on clinching the NFC South for the first time in 6 years. The Bucks ain't going. So here's the schedule for Saturday walkout weekend. The Panthers will play the Rams. That'll be at 4:30. The Bears will play the Packers. That's the 2-7 seed on Sunday. The Jaguars will play the Bills. That'll be at 1. Eagles and 49ers will be at 4:30. The night game will be the Patriots and the Chargers. And as I already stated, the Monday night game will be Steelers versus Texans. Uh, Saturday night game will be on Amazon Prime. Uh, the Bills and Jags will be on CBS. Niners and Eagles will be on Fox. Uh, Patriots and Chargers will be on NBC. And the Monday night game will be on ABC/ESPN. So those are the games that will be played next weekend. But we'll continue on. In Cincinnati, the Bengals lose the game 20-18 on a last second field goal, a last second drive by Shador Sanders. We'll put that to the side because in this game, Myles Garrett set the NFL's record for most sacks in the season with his 23rd with about 5 minutes to go in the game. So congratulations to Myles Garrett. He will probably, well, if he's not Defensive Player of the Year, I don't know what they're doing over there, to be quite honest with you. I know there's tackles and all that, but sacks is the premier thing to do in the NFL. Uh, in Houston, the Colts visit the Texans, and the Texans get the victory 38-30. This was close throughout the whole game. The Texans get the victory anyhow, 38-30, going to 12-5. The Colts are 8-9. It's a rough season for the Colts. They were sitting pretty. They were sitting pretty for most of the season till the quarter. Daniel Jones got hurt, then a couple people got hurt, and then they was going downhill after that. So tough season for the Colts. Good win for the Texans, who solidified the number 5 seed. Congratulations to them. Uh, in the MetLife, the New York Giants defeat the Dallas Cowboys 34-17. Uh, Dak played a few minutes in the game, but this was about the Giants. The Giants took off and never looked back, so they go to 4-13. The Cowboys end their season with 7-9-1. In Minnesota, the Packers versus the Vikings. The Vikings get a 16-3 win. With that win, the Vikings go to 9-8. That's why that I told y'all that's how that tie kids people win, right? The Vikings were 9-8. The Packers were 9-7-1. Uh, in Jacksonville, the Titans visit the Jaguars, and the Jaguars get the 41-7 victory. With that victory, that clinches the AFC South for the Jaguars, who are the number 3 seed with a 13-4 record. The Titans, uh, with that loss, go to 3-14. Uh, Cam Ward was hurt in this game, rushing for the only touchdown. He landed on the shoulder. He did not return. So hopefully it's nothing crazy. Get well soon, Cam Ward. He had a pretty good season. Uh, in Philly, the Commanders visit the Eagles, and the Eagles lost this game 24-17. No, none of the starters played. No Jalen Hurts, no AJ Brown, no Devontae Smith, no Saquon. So with this victory, Commanders go to 5-12. The Eagles go to 11-6. They clinch the 3 seed.
It's not about the weather. It's about controversial speech. That's why it's called the First Amendment. What, man?
The Realist, what's going on? The Eagles. Uh, in Buffalo, the Bills 35, the Jets 8. The Bills go to 12-5. The Jets go to 3-14. Um, New England defeats the Dolphins 38-10 to clinch the second seed. The Rams 37. The Cardinals 20. They clinch the 5 seed. The Rams do. Oh my goodness. The the Raiders got a victory. The Raiders get 14. The Kansas City Chiefs get 12. Uh, the Raiders will they solidified the number one pick with the Giants victory, and because they only got three, so they will be drafting first in April. As I stated, Denver already defeated the Chargers 19-3. The Lions defeated the Bears 19-16, 9-8 for the Lions, 11-6 for the Bears. Oh, I forgot. The Chiefs were 6-11. They lost to the 3-14 team. So that is the scoring, and of course, Pittsburgh 26, Ravens 24. In that wild game, that game was very, very wild, right? So now we're just going to go ahead and look at we're going to look at next week. As you see, next week the Panthers will be hosting the Rams, and then the Packers will be going to Chicago for round three of their NFC North rival game. But this is for more important things. Next round in the playoffs. Uh, Sunday, like I said, the Bills will be heading to Jacksonville to play the Jags. The Niners will be playing the Eagles at 4:30, and the Chargers will be playing the Patriots at Foxborough Sunday night 8:15. Well, they're in line. There is a game. It's the Steelers and the Texans on the 12th Monday night. So that is the schedule for the games. Uh, for the most part, we went through these 18 weeks. What up though? What up, my 33 brother? What up though? Nah, I knew that. Nah, man, they wasn't letting the Bears cook like that. But this was about like I'm so sick. Listen, man. Oh, also after the Falcons game, the Falcons told the coach Raheem Morris he was relieved of his duties, so he got canned. Even though he was 8-9, even though he had a three-way tie, he got canned. But that's another story for another day. Um, after watching this game, it just goes to show you, man, it doesn't matter what you have on paper. You got to go out there and play, right? Because everybody said that the Ravens was talented. The Ravens had this. The Ravens had that. They was the most talented team. Okay, so what happened to the talent? The talent didn't show up this year. At the end of the day, they was what? What are they? 7-10, right? They 7-10 or whatever their record is. I can't remember their record. Let me see their record is because it's annoying. They were they was 8-9. So they're 8-9. So all that talent gave you a sub 500 record, right? It doesn't matter what the papers say. It doesn't matter. It's about putting that work in, right? You can have all the talent in the world. If you don't activate it, if you don't put it on display, you will be like the Ravens. I get it. I know Lamar Jackson was hurt about six of the games, but if this talent was supposed to be where it's supposed to be, they supposed to at least went 3-3 with it, right? They did. They end up with a losing season. They end up losing to their rival. Now, this, like I said, this game was not Lamar Jackson's fault. This game was about the defense. And even when, like I said, Lamar got the ball back, he drove down the field. He got them in field goal position. Whoever Kyler Loop is, it's he kicked it wide right, and that's how Aaron Rodgers and the Steelers go to the playoffs. So this is not when I say it's not on him, it's not on him. He threw the ball. Derrick Henry had 100 yards. There was no defense on display for the Baltimore Ravens at all. And this was and most people are gonna say this is a subpar game for Lamar Jackson. But he did enough to get them in position. He did enough to give them the lead. He had to he had to overcome a deficit at the end, and he left with a deficit, all because his defense didn't show up, and that kicker kicked it right. It was a 44-yard kick. and he kicked it wide right. So this, like I said, this is not on Aaron Rodgers. I mean, this Aaron, like I said, Aaron Rodgers had an okay game, but it wasn't what it's supposed. It wasn't what it looks like, bro. Bro, do suck as a coach. Cause who we talking about? You talking about a Harbaugh, or we talking about the Lions? So it's just crazy that you have to go through those type of situations, man. That you do all of this, you get your team in position to win. That's why football is one of the hardest sports to really grasp and understand what goes on, because you can do everything you need to do, but that one person that don't do nothing all day, the kicker, can either give you glory, or he can give you a horrible story. And whoever, what's his name, Luke, he gave them a horrible story because he yanked that thing wide right, and when it went right, Lamar's like, yo, I don't know what else to do. If anything, Lamar need to say, yo, we need to figure this out. Either get some defense or get me out of here, because I can't win like this. Last year, was it last year when they dropped the ball with Andrews or something like that? It or Raheem Morris. Yeah, he do some weird things. Yeah, I go with that. I go with that. He do some weird things, but he only had 2 seasons. They give other guys like 5 or 6 years. You know what I mean? So it's just crazy. The Seahawks with the week off. That's right. The Seahawks is the number one seed in the NFC. They got they got a whole. They get to sit back and watch whoever play, and the lowest seed that wins on Wild Card Weekend, they got to go to Seattle, which will probably be crazy. Uh, and the same thing with Denver. Denver will play the lowest seed. And they got a whole week off as well. But everybody got to travel to Denver and to Seattle. They put the bag in the offense. Yeah, and then you get mad. And then what y'all want him to do? Y'all like football's a crazy. That's what I try to tell people. Football's a crazy sport. But it's all about offense, right? It's all about offense. So, and if you keep giving the offense the opportunities, and they get these stupid calls, and there was mad pass interference calls again today, offensive pass interference. I don't know what it is no more. I don't know what's pass interference. I don't know what a catch is no more. This season was riddled with crazy calls and crazy situations. Let's just be honest. That's what it really fell down to. It really came to all of that. And I'm like, how and why? But it did. And so even with that, it's an unbelievable situation. You know what I mean? Like, but we did see some. We are seeing some young quarterbacks, some new quarterbacks come through. Drake May is one of them. Caleb Williams. Uh, I'm interested to see who's going to be the MVP and who's going to be the offensive player of the year. Right? Uh, if I had to pick right now, I would say Drake May is going to win the offensive player of the year. Uh, would they give it? They better not give it to Sam Donald. If they give it to Sam Donald, it'll be crazy. Or maybe Caleb Williams will be the offensive player or the comeback player of the year. Maybe they give it to Sam Donald. They might give it to Stafford. They might give it to Stafford. I don't know. They got to play to the script. Not play to the script, man. Don't tell these people this thing is scripted, man. This ain't WWE, man. This ain't scripted, man. I ain't going for that. Whatever this is, man, it was just it was a high paced, crazy situation. What happened to Goff's second to last series? I swear he was trying to. Why would he? I don't know. I don't know how he tried to lose the game when he got them down the field to get that game winning field goal. It's just simple, man. Mahomes is not winning no MVP. Don't do that, man. There's no way in the world he can win the MVP. He cannot win the MVP. Uh, no way. No way on the planet could he win the MVP. It's impossible. It's impossible, Patrick. And like I said, if Miles Garrett don't win Defensive Player of the Year, is gonna be crazy. Miles Garrett should be. I ain't gonna lie to you. Miles Garrett should be in the MVP voting. He should be one of the top three MVP candidates. Right? The way they man, listen, man, the way they try to game plan against that dude like all day today. He trying to do this, that, and the third. He trying to get the sack. He was triple team, chipped, double team, chipped. And I'm like, yo, is he ever gonna get this? He literally had to wait almost 3 games to get to break the record. But he got to Joe Burrow. Now I know people gonna say he fell and whatever the case may be. It looked kind of man. He was tired. Joe Burrow was tired. It was like the last 5 minutes of the game, and they was winning. And then after that, the Bengals scored a touchdown after that. But I ain't talking to you, man. Talking about some damn Ray Lewis. I ain't playing. You get such a bad wild. But even after this, right? Because Miles Garrett was the story of the day. Watch how many people don't say that Shador got that team in field goal range in the last 2 minutes, and they got the victory off of his drive in the last 2 minutes. You won't hear about that because Miles Garrett, he's well deserving of the press. He's well deserving of everything that he's getting today, right? But it will be very quietly kept that Shador Sanders led a drive to win the game in the final week of the season. They're gonna hide that. Now, with that being said, we're gonna ask the question: are they gonna get rid of Kevin Stefanski? Or is Stefanski gonna be there and is he gonna work with Shador, or is he gonna go behind the back and say, you know what, we going with Deshaun Watson. Deshaun Watson is back up and at it, and until they get rid of him, we don't know what they're gonna do. So it's gonna be interesting to see what happens when it comes to these guys. Uh, they still got Miles Garrett with 22 sacks. ESPN, y'all disappointed me. All these stats is up there now. Y'all gotta get it done. Nope, they still got him at 22. I ain't dealing with y'all. I was going to go ahead. Well, I was going to go ahead and look at the numbers, right? But I don't even want to do that because the stats may not even be accurate. Well, let's just say they are accurate, right? All right, let's share. Let me share this. So let me share this, right? So as y'all can see, Dak Prescott threw for the most yards in the season, 4,482. Stafford was second. Your guy was third, my 33 brother, 4,200 yards, 42-33. So he was there. Uh, I ain't gonna do the touchdown and interception thing. I ain't gonna do all that to you. But this is like all the stats. This is everybody here. Wow, Shador, you did pretty well. Shador had 1,289 yards. He was 7 touchdowns and 10 interceptions. It's not bad. Like 6 weeks. But he got a five. I know he got a 500 record. I know that. Uh, we got rushing. I believe James Cook. Yeah, James Cook got 1,600 yards. Uh, Derrick Henry was third. Jonathan Taylor was second. Jonathan Taylor had a hell of a first half before all them injuries happened. Bijan Robinson. Man, I can't wait to next year. I really can't wait to next year to do the fantasy draft. I am so intrigued to see who's gonna pick who next year. Ooh, I'm excited about next year already, but don't mind me, y'all. Uh, where we at? Bijan was fourth. Achan was fifth. C Mac was sixth. Javante Williams was he only trailed by yards, seventh. Kyron Williams for the Rams was eight. Jameer Gibbs was ninth. Saquon was 10. Saquon had 1,000 yards. I swear I would not have known that. But I know he's a whole 1,000 yards off of where he was supposed to be. I'll just say. So those are your top 10 as far as the rushers. Let's check out the receivers. Jackson Smith and Jigba. That man was awesome. He had 1,793 yards, a whole 160 yards over Puka Nakua, who's second. George Pickens was third. Jamar Chase was fourth. Amon-Ra St. Brown was fifth. Trey McBride. Now, Trey McBride had a hell of a season, and he led all tight ends with 119 receptions. Is sixth. Chris Olave, who was on a down team, but he finished seventh. CD was eighth, and he played only 13 games. Ninth is Zay Flowers. I think that's because he had a hell of a game tonight, but I ain't gonna leave that one alone. Uh, so CD and Zay Flowers is ninth. They tied for ninth. J Mo is right behind them with 11 with 1,000 yard receiving. So when you got it's hard to see how you missed the playoffs when you got 2,000 yard receivers on your team, and we see the Cowboys up there, we see the Lions up there. Uh, yeah, that's the only two teams. So it's kind of hard. Now, if you look down even more, the Panthers leading receiver is 12th, and the AJ Brown is fifth. Like it's just crazy. So AJ Brown and Devontae Smith. Devontae didn't even get 1,000 yards. AJ just got over 1,000 yards. So it's kind of crazy. So let's just go ahead and look at the defense. We already know that Jordan Brooks led everybody in tackling, the whole 174 total tackles. Devin White, yeah, he was on the field a lot for the Raiders. Jack Campbell for the Lions was third. OG Bobby Wagner. Shout out to Bobby Wagner, man. That guy loved this sport. He was fourth. Cedric Gray of the Titans was fifth. Schlesinger of the Browns tied for fifth. Sherwood from the Jets, yeah, he was on the field a lot too. Nick Bolton was eighth. Demario Davis and Bobby Okrike, as well as Blake Cashman, they top 10. Sacks. Everyone give me sacks, but we know who the sack leaders is. Myles Garrett and them. Myles Garrett was first. Oh, won't give me all that. So that's just the end of the situation. Damn, ain't nothing up. Wow, they just took my whole thing down. That was crazy. Uh, that was all the way crazy. My apologies, y'all. I thought I was doing something nice, giving y'all stats and stuff. All right, so I guess y'all didn't see none of my stuff. This is your top 10 for the quarterbacks. Dak only won by 34 yards over Matthew Stafford. Dak was 30-10. Stafford was 42-8. Jared Goff was 33-7. Sam Donald was 25-14. Drake May was 30-8. 30 touchdowns, 8 interceptions. Trevor Lawrence was 26-12. Caleb Williams was the 8 with 25-6. Justin, the the final guy in the top 10 as far as passing, and his uh, touchdowns to interception was 26-11. James Cook, like I said, led everybody with 1,600 yards, followed by Jonathan Taylor, Derrick Henry, Bijan Robinson, Achane McCaffrey, Javonte Williams, Kyron Williams, Jameer Gibbs, and Saquon. And the receivers go to Jackson Smith and Jigma, Puka Nakua, George Pickens, Jamar Chase, Amon St. Brown, Trey McBride, Chris Olave, Nico Collins, CeeDee Lamb, Zay Flowers. So that's your top 10. They ain't come up again? Damn, what's wrong with me? Stop laughing at me. Yeah. Is it up now? I'm looking at it now. I'm here now. So it's up now. All right. So, oh, wait. It's up now. You see your guy Jameson Williams at 1,043 yards. I'm going to just leave it at the top 10s. The top 10s everywhere. This is rushing yards, y'all. There you go. Top 10 rushing. Let y'all get a look at it. Where y'all going? This. I'm about to break the whole thing. That's the top 10 in rushing. The top 10 in passing. I don't care about no team stats. But yeah, y'all, this season it was you called. Who you called? But like I said, this season was something different. Uh, we seen a lot of teams start fresh and they was on a roll. You know, we saw the Colts start off hot. We saw several teams take off. Now only the Colts is going to be notarized because they didn't make the playoffs, but they were injury ridden, right? The Steelers started off hot and they had to go to a last game. The 49ers was started off fresh. They just made the wild card. The Bucks started off with a huge lead. They 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 got to the last week, but they lost about 5 in a row. 7 out of the last 6 out of the last 7. They did win the last week, but because the Falcons won, they go to the Panthers go to the playoffs. Uh, we saw Green Bay start off piping hot. Then all of a sudden the Bears caught them. Uh, and Denver was from the beginning, top to bottom. So, but we still got some playoff games to go. We still got we got at least another month of football. Like I said, for the for the Broncos and the Seahawks, they got the week off. They'll be waiting to see who they're going to play. Um, it's definitely a lot that they got to look at and go forward with. But I'm excited about the playoffs, y'all. So we're gonna continue this. We'll probably be on Sunday. We'll definitely be on next Sunday with the scores and stats, unless maybe I'll do a quick show on Saturday night because the playoffs is only a few more games left. Um, so we'll have that conversation later. But we had some NBA basketball. I know he see that in Cleveland. Let me give y'all the scores. In Cleveland, the Pistons 114, the Cavs 110, Detroit 26-9, Cleveland 20-17. I didn't know Cleveland played that many games. I ain't gonna lie. Uh, in Orlando, the Magic 135, the Pacers 127, the Magic 20-16, the Pacers 6-30. They having a rough season. In Brooklyn, the Nets 127, the Nuggets 115. Ever since Nikola Jokic got injured and will be out for 4 weeks, it's a struggle for them, right? I believe Brooklyn's now 11-22. and the Nuggets is 23-12. In Miami, the Heat defeat the Pelicans 125-106. The Heat is 20-16. The Pelicans are 8-29. In Washington, the Wizards lose to the Timberwolves 141-115. The T Wolves are 23-13. The Wizards are 9-25. In Phoenix, the Suns 108. The Thunder 105. With that win, the Suns go to 21-14. The Thunder are 30-6. That's only their sixth loss of the season. In Sacramento, the Bucks 115, the Kings 98. The Bucks are 16-20, and the Sacramento Kings are 8-28. And the final game was Los Angeles. The Lakers defeat the Grizzlies 120-114. Uh, Lakers are 21-11. I don't know what the Grizzly record is. I'm just looking at the standings, but they probably ain't got these teams record anyway. Watch. Let's see. Look, Brooklyn's not there, and Memphis ain't there. It's absurd. I don't know how they do that. But those are your scores and highlights from a long week. Oh, how many? You want to see how many Cade had? All right, hold on real quick. Let me see how many Cade had. Cade Cunningham. I just called that game. I ain't called it, but let's see what Cade had. Cade Cunningham. Cade had 27 points, 7 assists, 6 rebounds. Isaiah Stewart. Oh, I'm about to say that. Isaiah Stewart handled 31 points. Oh, Jenkins, the backup point guard, had a huge game. He had 25 points. Uh, what was he? 6 or 7 3-point shooting? Yes, he was. Jaden Ivey, he's starting to get himself back. He had a couple of shots. He made a couple of shots. Uh, well, Tobias Harris must be hurt. Yeah, he ain't play. He's hurt. I knew that. And there you go. Look, Isaiah. Oh, I didn't know Duran was out with an ankle injury, and Harris was out. Levert, I don't even think he played. Uh, but it's a good win. You see the Pistons are 26-9. They got about a 5 game lead. Six no 5. It's 6 games up in the winning column, so they're up 7 games. So it's a good win for the Pistons. Uh, but yeah, it is. We got some more sports coming on, y'all don't worry about it. Um, we got next week football. We got basketball that's coming up still. We heading towards the all. Well, when the Super Bowl comes, the All Star break comes. I'm not really excited about the All Star game. I don't like this new format, but we'll talk about that down the road. But we will have uh we will talk about the WWE tomorrow. We got 1 year anniversary of Raw being on Netflix. They got the championship match between CM Punk versus Braun Breaker. They got uh, Maxine Dupree fighting Becky Lynch. They got somebody else is fighting over there. It's a couple more matches. Uh, the tag team title. EO and Rhea Ripley versus the Kabuki Warriors. It's another match. But they're going to have some more matches because they'll probably push that to 3 hours to celebrate the anniversary. I think we're going to see some special appearances. I think I'm thinking we're going. I don't know. It might be too early. I don't know. I don't know if Seth is going to come out. It's possible, but highly unlikely. Um, if he do, I wouldn't be surprised though, because They said it's a shoulder injury, but who knows with these guys? We're gonna have we're gonna see a whole bunch of people. I think Javon Evans is gonna make his first appearance. Well, his first official appearance on Raw, being on the main roster. I think we'll see Chad Gable probably pop up out of nowhere. It's going to be a lot of things going on tomorrow. I suggest if you're a fan of WWE, I think you should watch it. Uh, they may have an impromptu tag match tomorrow with the Usos. I don't know with who, but they probably have that. They probably put all the belts in action tomorrow to get the ratings up, to get the viewership up, and things like that. So it's a like I said, it's a lot of sports going on, and we're going to be here to cover a lot of it. Like I said, whether it's playoffs in the NFL, heading towards the All Star game in basketball, or even if we're just talking about WWE or whatever it is that you guys want to talk about, we'll have those conversations coming down the road. Uh, I don't know if my 33 brother gonna be live today. I don't know. He been binge watching. He been binge watching some stuff, so I don't know. But we definitely gonna be back on tomorrow, as I stated earlier. All the scores, stats, they were brought to you by the 9%. Where better you is a better us. Uh, and that's pretty much all I got for you guys. I'm still flustered about. I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm flustered about this final drive for the Steelers and Ravens game. I know Lamar is probably pulling all his little braids out. He did what he needed to do, but that's why you got to have a full team. That's why you got to have a full team to win a championship. Everybody got to do their part: offense, defense, special teams. Right? They say defense win championship, but it's hard to tell when you had that type of game. That game almost reminded me of the Kansas City Bills game a few years ago when Mahomes scored in 13 seconds. That's how fast Mahomes. Oh God, Lamar Jackson got them down that field. He got them down that field that quick to where it was it was a blur and it was over. And but it was no, it was over because they missed the field goal and they go to advance to the playoffs. So it's a tough, like I said, it's a tough loss for Lamar. He had a rough season anyway. He missed a lot of games. He tried to put it on his shoulder literally because he didn't do that much running today. So he tried to do that. I just hope this ain't going to turn into an RG3 situation where he's just trying to try to be a pocket quarterback. If that's going to take a lot away from him. But you try to do things that gives your team the victory and also keep you safe. But if it changes your game, then you got to really have that conversation. So you know, but he got a whole off season to think about what he want to do. Like I said, me personally, he should be asking for out. He should be asking out because they're not doing anything on that defensive side to do anything. They don't get no pass rush. I think they said the leading sack person on the Ravens has 4 sacks. 4. You play 17 games and you only get 4 sacks. That means you might get a half a sack every 2 games or 3 games or something like that. That's crazy. 4 sacks in 17 games. That's not good at all. That means you got no pass rush. Nothing happening. And that Humphreys guy, number 44, the I don't know if he's a safety or a cornerback. He don't tackle for nothing. I seen him he missed tackles all through the night. He made Gainwell, he made Warren look like this gangbusters, like they was Derrick Henry. They small, they tiny. You know what I mean? So the Ravens have a lot to think about. They definitely got a lot to work on. But they probably start at the coaching position. They might just try to get rid of they might ask Harbaugh to step down. Sometimes you've been in a place so long, you could lose the team. If you've been there 17 years and they ain't doing what you want, you know what I mean? They might have lost the locker room. That's what they call that, losing the locker room. It's not that they don't respect you. They don't think it's working, right? So they might need a fresh voice in that locker room. You know, as the same, they was trying to say that about Tomlin. They probably say that about Tomlin if they lose Monday, right? So it's about you. I don't know. It's about you getting your locker room ready to play. It's about your locker room being able to hear your voice and follow. Because the head coach is a leader of men, even though he got quarterbacks for the offense and linebackers for the defense to call plays and things like that. The coach got to have everybody. He got to deal with 53 people and other coaches. So it's a lot for them to do. But if you've been in there for 17, 19, 20 years, and even though Mike Tomlin's been winning every year, he might get tired of it. I don't think he's tired of it, but you're gonna hear some rumblings if they don't come out and show out against the Texans. Even though the Texans got a top team, a top defense, they may hear some rumblings about that. But we did get our first firing of the year. Raheem Morris was let go. Uh, it's hard to it's hard to judge when you got injuries in your thing too, in your game, right? When he went with Michael Penix got injured. Then you see Kirk Cousins come in. They won the last few games. Now what are they gonna say, that he should have been there the whole time? He wasn't there the whole time because he got benched for Michael Penix from last year. You know what I mean? It's hard to keep a job in the NFL as a coach, especially when you they only giving you like one shot deals and things like that. So it's definitely hard. You gotta stay on top of your game. You gotta make sure you got winning records. You gotta make sure you're relevant. Even though, like I said, everybody in that division was 8-9. They just lost tiebreakers, and the tiebreaker went to the Carolina Panthers this year. So I don't, did he deserve another shot? I think he did, but 2 years ain't enough. 2 years, you transition from one quarterback to the next. Uh, you y'all drafted Michael Penix after giving Kirk Cousins all that money. He came out, he did what he needed to do, and now he was like one game out of the playoffs. I think it was the same thing last year. I think they went to the last week last year. So maybe they feel he just can't get it done. But he had Kyle Pitts out, he had Drake London out, he had Michael Penix out, and this was offensive oriented team. Because next year they're gonna say the offense look good, but we're gonna see. We're gonna see shortly. We're gonna see soon what's gonna happen. But he probably won't be the only one to let go. The rumors are Pete Carroll's gonna be let go. Uh, the Giants interim coach is gonna be let go. Um, so who knows? Who knows what they? I'm just waiting to see who they're gonna hire. Who they think they're gonna hire? They think they're gonna hire somebody from Jaguars, the offensive coordinator, things like that. Uh, I don't know. They say that Aaron Glenn gets to keep his job, and his team had no interceptions. How you a defensive coordinator with no interceptions? And yes, that's my team, and it's not me venting. They just need an organizational thing. They need to fire the owner, because you let all these guys go. Look, let me. I'm ranting now, y'all. I know I'm gotta get off here. Let me tell you how crazy it is, right? Sam Donald's a Pro Bowler. Uh, they traded Quentin Williams. He a Pro Bowler, right? Sam Donald was the quarterback they drafted. Quentin Williams was the guy he drafted. Leonard Williams was the guy they drafted. Sauce Gardner, uh, Bryce Huff. All these guys I'm naming, except for Sauce Gardner, they all going to the playoffs. And you had them just a few years ago. All of them was on your team a few years ago. So you can't blame the coach when you got letting these guys go and they doing well somewhere else. It's you. It's like the Giants. The Giants let Daniel Jones go. He was hot for a whole minute until he got injured. He wore himself out. It's about you know it's about how you bring your team up, how you develop players. And if you can't develop players and somebody else can, that's what happens. They go to a Jacksonville, they go to a Minnesota, get hot and go make money, and then go to Seattle and take that team to a number one seed. Right? Nobody had faith in Sam Donald like that. I didn't even pick them because they had Sam Donald. I didn't know they were going to do that. He did enough to get the number one seed Saturday night. He did enough, right? He did everything he needed to do. He kept the ball out of harm's way, and they won the game. So it's about how you develop players and the people you have confidence in, or you just don't know how to pick people. As the Jets have shown, they don't know how to develop. So it's a lot now. They got Brees Hall, they got Garrett Wilson. Hopefully they don't. They're gonna be like the Falcons. They're gonna get a decent quarterback and still do nothing because they traded all their defense away. So it's going to be interesting to see how these teams pick themselves up. All these the Giants, the Jets, the Raiders. They got these high draft picks. They just got a whole bunch of draft picks. They don't know how to draft, so what you need a draft pick for? But that's just another story for another day. Y'all bear, like I said, y'all bear with me because I'm just venting. Because everybody want a high draft pick. They don't even know who's coming out. They're gonna pick Mendoza. They're gonna pick a wide receiver. They're gonna pick a defensive end. They don't know what they're gonna do. They're gonna secure the offensive line. Like these guys got to know what they need. Just like those Cleveland Browns, they got to figure out is Shador the guy or not. Shador was 500. He started 6 games. He won 3. He lost 3. Is that enough to secure his job? We don't know. We'll have to see. Well, we're gonna have to see if Fancy gonna be there or not. So all of these things we going into the off season looking at the Cowboys. Will the Cowboys defense get better? Will they be able to make some noise next year? Are they going to pick some more people up for the defensive side? All of these things are left to question. And like I said, they got a whole off season to figure that out. But in the meantime, in between time, we got 6 games going into next week to determine who's going to make the divisional playoffs. We will pick those games Friday night. It's gonna, like I said, it's gonna be interesting. Will 8 and 9 Panthers beat the NFC West? Will the newly crowned AFC North defeat the Texans? Philly look like they got a hard game. They playing the 49ers. Uh, who's gonna win round 3 between the Bears and the Packers? We got a lot of questions heading into next week. But we're gonna have that conversation Friday. We're gonna talk about it. We're gonna shoot the breeze. We're gonna pick them and everything else on that Friday. But in the meantime, in between time, like I said, I appreciate you guys stopping through. Shout out to Realist, my 33 brother. Uh, I think somebody, Jill Martin. Jill Martin was here. Shout out to her. I think it's a her. Shout out to them. Um, yeah. So with that being said, from the Channel 9 studio, this is Mr. 33 signing off. I'll see you guys in 23 hours.